All right, hello people. I hope everyone is doing well. Today I'm making a video on something that I constantly get asked. Oliver, my niche is saturated. What should I do? Am I doomed for failure? There's no more niches out there. So today I wanted to make a short video going over sort of how I teach my students, how I go acquiring clients in saturated niches. Now you might say, like, Oliver, you're a coach or a consultant. For those that don't know, my niche, going after agency owners, is probably the most saturated niche out there. Okay, so yes, there's dentists, there's chiros, there's those types of niches, but there's also mine, which is super competitive and saturated, and I'm still able to get a fully booked calendar every single week. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how I do it and how I teach my clients on doing it. And today I'm going to be sharing 6 ways that you can acquire Smma clients, or really any type of clients in the agency space, in what I like saturated niches. I don't really like using this word because I don't feel like there's no saturated niches. There's only saturated services, products, people, and stuff like that. But if you find a good way to sort of differentiate yourself in the marketplace, this shouldn't be an issue. All right, and today this is sort of what I'm going to be going over. All right, so 6 ways, as mentioned. First one, this is probably the most important one, okay? Service market fit. If you're expecting to go to the marketplace and offer Facebook ads, hey, I'll run your ads, I'll make some copy, I'll make some creatives, and pay me $2,000 per month, I think that's already a mistake, whether you're in a saturated niche or not, because everyone's doing the same thing, right? How are you different from the other guy who's doing the exact same offer and the same service as you? Especially if you're competing against people who live in other countries where maybe for them $500 per month is a lot of money. And if you live in the States or Canada and you're competing against people who are charging $500 and you're offering the exact same thing, how are you supposed to beat them? All right, it makes no sense. So here I made a whole video on this. If you guys want to know like sort of how I go about building offers, this is the most important thing. I'm not gonna go over it too much on this video, but essentially here I made, I think it was my last video. Essentially I compared the short form content agency space. Okay, because this is something I get pitched often, and it's something that I just felt like it would be a good example to use. So as you can see here, if you look at my current situation, for me personally, like if you look at the editing, the personal brand space, I have few followers and I lack a personal brand. All right, it could be a lot bigger and better. And where I want to be is have millions of followers and have a super established brand. Okay, and I use the example of people offering short form content editing services, which is good. Like, it does help me reach my desired situation, my desired outcome. However, you're basically competing against price because you're offering the same thing as everyone else. And what I need with is not necessarily just editing shorts, but everything else that can bring me to my desired situation. So in here, I came up with like a new offer of what I would do, which is more of like personal brand building versus short form content. And I basically listed out everything that's required in order for me to grow my personal brand, every single thing. And if you can offer all of these things, that's when you can really start charging lots of money. And also you're offering something that's different. Because the one guy who's like, hey, I'll edit your shorts, versus the other one's like, hey, I'll give you ideas. I'll give you a content calendar so you know when to post and when to record. I'll edit the shorts. I'll make the thumbnails. I'll post it for you. Like you start stacking, and it's like at a certain point, it's like, the service is a lot better. He takes care of my entire social media, my acquisition when it comes to organic content. And that's extremely valuable, and that's what I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to pay lots of money to someone. This, I will not pay you lots of money. Okay? So this is number 1, service market fit. This is the same thing for Smma. So if you're just offering Facebook ads, try to be a bit more creative, add like appointment setting, lead qualifying, get the leads to book an appointment, get down payments if possible. Like, there's lots of things you can offer. Number 2, this is very important as well. Build a strong portfolio. Okay, develop a portfolio of successful campaigns, showcase your past work, your case studies, client testimonials, prove that you have a track record of delivering results. All right, so if you have experience in the game, leverage that like crazy. All right, if you're not doing that, that's a big mistake. And if you don't have any experience, typically what I do, like I have a mentorship program. All right, we're 185 people, and I have my own team of media buyers. And because they'll be working together, I leverage their case studies. So I take their case studies, I give them to my clients, they leverage them, and once they do sign the clients, they pair up with that specific media buyer, and then they work together. Okay, so that's one workaround if you're just starting out, but as you grow, like, put your results everywhere. Okay, you cannot showcase enough. All right, so here are a couple of examples that I posted on my story and I would do. So here again, I have a mentorship program. So here, Olaf signed the second client. Cameron Wynn just closed a 2K deal with a home improvement company, which is super saturated, by the way. And he has another deal tomorrow. Okay, so as you can see, it is possible. And this is how I would go about showcasing. You showcase the results, the outcome. Number 3, this is extremely important. This, very, very, very important. Okay, you're running an online business. Okay, the best way to separate yourself from the competition is to have a personal brand. Okay, I'm telling you, it's a cheat code. It's an easy way to get results. Easy way to, even though one person might be offering, let's say both people are offering Facebook ads. If this one has a YouTube channel with a bunch of content and this one has nothing, no social presence, and even like the personal brand guy is charging more, most people will work with that guy just because the guy proved to the market that he knows what he's talking about. Okay, if I just randomly posted this video and I had no YouTube, no nothing, you'd be like, who the hell is this guy? Why is he even qualified to talk about it? But if you go on my Instagram, you look at my content, you're like, okay, this guy has something that's going on. I will listen to him. And you're a lot more likely to work with someone like me than the random bum who's just claiming to be an expert that has, you know, no content, no nothing, no personal brand, but he's texting you, hey, I can help you make 10,000 per month. It's like, who the hell are you? Like, you cannot help me. I don't know who you are. And it's the same thing for your clients. You guys are running agencies with no social proof, nothing to back up, like who you are, what your company does, and all of these things. Okay, so very important. It establishes you as an authority. Okay, simple as that. So again, for me, what's the first thing? If someone, let's say an appointment setter reaches out to a potential lead for my business, first thing they'll do, they'll go on my YouTube. Oh, he has 1.4 subscribers. That's pretty good. Like, start watching a couple of videos. Maybe they'll go on my Facebook. You know, if the outreach was done on my Facebook, you don't see it, but there's a banner with my offer. Oliver, he's verified. Okay, founder Growth Solutions. What the hell is this? Oh, there's a website for Growth Solutions. Let me check what this is. The Skull community, the YouTube channel, the Instagram. There's posts talking about his journey, his experience. Let me click on the Instagram. Oh, he has 1,000 followers. He's from Montreal. That's pretty cool. Looks at the stories, looks at the posts. You see it builds, stack. Once you go through this funnel, you're like, okay, this guy is someone, he knows what he's talking about. Now you're a lot more likely to work with me. Okay, imagine I didn't have this. It'd be a lot more difficult to convince people to work with me. Okay, so very important. This is something many people don't do. They're very shy. Don't be shy, okay? Like, if you're shy to make content, then, you know, stay poor. You know, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, at a certain point, you just gotta put your insecurities and your fears aside and focus on what's gonna help you make the most money. And in this case, it's just putting yourself in front of the camera and filming content. Okay, number 4, very important. This is extremely important. And I learned this the hard way. Attend industry events, join relevant online forums, not free SMMA group with 10,000 complete beginners who have no idea what they're talking about. Is it nice to have? Yes, but if there's 10,000 beginners, who will you be talking with? It's going to be complete beginners. And how do you expect to learn from someone else who has no idea what they're doing? All right, so is it good to be there? Yes. As like maybe like a motivational factor, you know, maybe you guys push each other, but you will not learn that much from that other person or those other people in those groups. What I recommend is joining a group that's a bit more advanced. And I know it sucks. I know it feels like I'm pushing you guys to buy something, but typically it will be those paid groups. Because someone who's willing to invest a couple of $100 or $1,000 into a program or a course or something is a lot more committed than the guy who just joined a free Facebook group. Okay, I know it sucks, but that's how it is. You have to join typically something private. And even for myself, I recently joined like a exclusive mentorship program, which allowed me to get access to a bunch of people who are like at my level and even above. And that has been crazy beneficial, and I'm going to talk about it later on in this video. But even me, I'm constantly jumping through the hoops and trying to surround myself by people who are more advanced than I am, because that's the only way I know I can learn. If I'm always with people who are making less than me or less advanced or at my level, then I'll never succeed, because I have nothing to compare myself to, nothing to work towards to. Okay, so this is extremely important. As you can see here, networking, I was recently invited in a webinar to sort of talk about my story, how I, did the entire thing. So as you can see, there's 200 people in this Zoom call. Okay, do you think me, even if it was like a 3-minute segment where I just spoke about my service, my offer, my story, I had 200 live people listening to me. The amount of followers, people who DM me, people who book calls with me was insane after this 2-minute segment, just because I was part of this network that invited me to speak on my story. Okay, so it's crazy leverage, crazy beneficial. Paid advertising. This is another thing. This is something I put it at the bottom because it's something that I don't recommend. If you're a complete beginner, don't do it. It's not worth it unless you have a bunch of money and you have experience in the game. But once you start making some money, I personally, instead of trying to hire more appointment setters, I would get like 1 or 2 who are solid and use the rest of the money into paid advertising. Okay, for us, it's been working amazing. We do like a combination, I'd say 50-50 of like cold outreach, like appointment setting, cold DMs, and also paid advertising, which has been pretty cool. And as you can see, cost per lead, $6, which is insane. Okay, so we put about like 4,000 per month in USD, and then $6, 600, almost 700 leads. Okay, which is insane, warm leads. Okay, imagine you had 650 warm leads. Let's say they didn't book a call with you, but they clicked on your ad, they claimed your offer, your lead magnet. Do you honestly believe you cannot convert a couple of people from 650 that have shown interest in your product? Okay, it's very good. But again, this is something I would wait. If you're a bit more established, we even have another offer where we have like a beginner program where we help people go from 0 to 10 or more or less 10,000 per month. And then we have the second program where we teach them these advanced tactics, which is how to run ads, how to build a team of acquisition and stuff like that. So this has been crazy beneficial. And then offers point number 6 kind of ties down to 5 and 4, but maybe offer like some sort of free workshops, and webinars. Okay, so free courses, webinars like the one I attended, which was amazing. I don't have a picture because I've never done one myself, but we are in the process of working to get one, so I'm really looking forward to launching that. But yeah, host events, do something out of the ordinary, something that's kind of helps you stand out, because again, everyone's shy to put himself in front of the camera. No one wants to put in the work to build something like that and to speak in front of 200 people. It is quite nerve-wracking. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of nervous. Like, this was probably the biggest group I've ever spoken to. But yeah, it's very interesting. But this whole thing about oversaturated niches, I think if you start jumping niches because you're not able to book any meetings, and you say, oh, it's because my niche is saturated, that's why I can't book any meetings, that is most likely a problem with your acquisition, with you actually being able to book meetings. Because you should technically still be able to book meetings in saturated niches. It's just, it will be harder to convert. You're probably pitching the same type of offer, and they're like, okay, how are you different from the other guy? So if you're like in a niche and you're not even able to book a single call, and you're like, okay, this niche is saturated, I need to do this instead, like that is like an excuse for you to jump niches. Like, it's not valid. It's not a valid excuse. Okay, if you're like, the number one goal is to book meetings. And once you start booking meetings, you'll have a good feel of what the market wants. And then after you do it for a couple of months, you're like, okay, I've been booking consistent meetings. No one is saying yes. Everyone's been burnt in the past. Like, I don't like this niche. I don't like working with these types of people. Then afterwards, you can consider changing niches, even though I'm not for it. But at that point, it's like maybe a good move. Okay. So yeah, I hope this was useful. 6 ways. As usual, guys, I know I kind of spoke about it today. We have a in-depth mentorship program where it's not a course, right? It's more of like a one-on-one experience. You get to work with my coaches, my team. Everyone on my team has a successful agency, right? They're not bums that I found online. These are people who have ran agencies, they still run their agencies, and I've sort of hired them part-time to help my students with building their SMMA. All right, so it's unlimited one-on-one calls. You get the support, you have the video format course as well, and we basically work with people until they start making money. All right, so it's not a 3-month program or whatever. If it takes you a month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months to get clients, we will give you the support you need until you start making money for yourself. Okay, so if that's something that's interesting, just book a call with my team. I'll leave the link down below. Otherwise, subscribe, like, do the good things. I'm trying to work hard, give you guys good content. Give me ideas as to what you guys want me to cover. Sometimes I'm not too sure what to talk about. I know some people are more advanced, some people are more beginners, so it's kind of trying to find this good balance of what to make videos about. But yeah, I hope this was useful. If ever you guys have any questions, send me a DM on Instagram. I'll get back to you. Otherwise, best of luck with everything, and we'll talk soon.